He's a producer.
What's up everybody? You're on another episode of I'm a Producer Bitch. Sorry about the camera throwing it in there, but I want you to let you know this is live. Well, some of it's live. Anyway, I'm a Producer Bitch. I make 25th episode. I'm just making up numbers because I stopped filming for a while, got a lot going on. I was doing writing on Where You At, so we have some ideas for that. Actually, that's going to be coming out probably next year because spring. It's going to be a lot going on. And then what is it, Real Life Confessions. I uploaded one on Christianity, and you got to check that out. You know, a lot of people are going to be mad at me, but I did research on what I found out, and I'm basically just opening up the first door to and I'll back it with the Bible, if that's what it takes. But trust me, you need to check this out. There's a lot of things going on that none of us are paying attention to spiritually, and those of you who think that Black Wolf is an evil entity, that's not even true. Black Wolf is a brand. I can show you. So these are Black Wolf apparel. If you have merchandise on an item or a brand that is yours, like this, MFE, which is short for Moving Forward Entertainment, which is a label. You have Black Wolf. This is official Black Wolf apparel. This is the hats version. We have shirts. I'm running out of shirts, and I have of course you see me wearing I'm a Producer Bitch. So the apparel is real, but we're really doing this. We're really doing this. So anyway, this beat that we're working on right now is called Forget Not. It's something that I'm gonna do the mix today. That's my goal or my aim. And forgive the shades, but the sun's coming in here. As you can see, the light's kind of off, and I'm trying to, you know, still have some kind of light, and not, you know. Anyway, so without further ado, check this beat out. Still working on it. All right, this is just a loop. So, as you can see, everything's still set up that way. I don't have this in loop version yet, but one thing I'm going to look at and make sure it is mixed. And as you can tell, looks like it is. There's nothing here. Got the drums. See what's going on with them. So this is basically mixed, meaning all the channels are separated. And some of these are out, so I'm gonna bring in the whole thing in, because when you start mixing, you want to bring all the sounds in, and basically it's like that anyway for the mix, but even for the editing you want to do that. So I go back here, and then I bring all these in because these are music. I don't even know if I'm gonna use this. Now I adjusted the sound because there's some sounds I couldn't really hear. Sometimes I record in these, like make tracks in these, but when I do the mix, I have to go here. I have to have the monitors set up. I have to hear it live, like I'm hearing now. And that's just so I can, you know, hear everything right. You know, the 808s the way they're supposed to be. Make sure there's not bleeding going on. You know, all that kind of stuff that you see up here. I can bring the volume up a little bit, but I do that down here. But not really I can't, because you don't want anything red. So I gotta leave it where it is. This is actually ready to start cutting up. Okay, so I basically have that ready. So what I do up here, I start chopping it up. As you can see, what I'll do is, bam, I'll do this, bam, and I'll make at least 4 of these so I can create a, I like to call it a song format. A lot of times when I do this, I make sure that I'm doing it an accurate way, because you want to make sure that everything you're doing is good so you won't make a mistake. We all make mistakes. We don't mean to, but we do. So the color code thing is your preference. I like to color code it so it can look differently in the grid. I'm just making up this stuff. Anyway, but I go to every area. Like I go down to this one, and I set this one up, and what I'm doing here is making a copy of a stream so I can move it like that, because everything's going to change in this. That's why I do this. So I'm going to start cutting here, then I move it, then I move it, I cut, I move, I cut, and then a lot of times I'll let this be the, you know, the hook, so it pretty much stays the same, where you bring everything in. It's not always arranged that way, and this is just an arrangement that I would make myself. But like if a singer comes on it, because these tracks are for vocals and stuff, there can be a, you know, we could change any of these. I like to call this part and this part the verse. I like to call this the intro, and then we go with a hook. I mean, that's a basic 1, 2, 3. But when I do the other album I'm working on, which is the, I don't like to call it Calm 2, I'm not doing it like that, but I'll show you how I'm doing those. It's totally different. But without further ado, we're gonna come back after these commercial messages, because I'm not gonna do that here because there's the reasons why I don't. But if you guys are interested in me giving you exact way to how can you say it, to produce in Machine, this is the newest Machine. You guys see the logo. This is what you want if you're making banging ass beats. A lot of producers I know have it. 40 from Drake's camp, he's been using Machine. Psh, that's not why I bought it, but once I bought it, and I also have reason, we talked about that, I stick with this. This is how I do it. This is because this is it. So if you like a DAW, I'm not going to tell you what DAW to get, but if you like one and it works for you and it can help you produce like the way you feel, go with that one. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of this because I've been with Machine since 2014. I think that's when Valentino turned me on to it. It was the white one, and now I have the black one, and the next upgrade I'll get, you know, that's what you do. But that's what I use now, and that's what I'll show anyone who has a machine. I'll show them that on my website. My website, I'm going to start having e-classes up there where you can learn this, and then, yeah, it does cost, but I'm not going to break you. The reason why I can't show what I'm doing up here is because if I do that, I'm showing it to you for free. I already showed you too much, but this is just how I want you to understand how I'll do my editing for the track to turn it into a song platform. Okay, so we'll be right back. This is Black Wolf and another episode of I'm a Producer Bitch. Thanks for chiming in and checking us out. Oh, by the way, this is not a gang sign. It's just the way I do it, but if I do this, they say it is too. I'm not a gang member, never been one. Jokes to it. All right, take care, guys.